You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of OffScreen. I'm Nand Kumar, and today we're talking to someone we've seen quite a little bit of recently, and happily so, especially on OTT platforms, which was like Delhi Crime and Mirzapur, and that's Rasika Dugal. And I'm going to find out how she prepares for her parts and what the boom of something like Netflix and Amazon has done for her. Hi Rasika.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And how are you doing? First of all, you're tired by the promotions, aren't you?
I think I'm generally been tired for the last 6 months. It's been one thing after another. But like I keep telling everybody, these are all good problems to have.
A lot of work.
A lot of work and a lot of juggling of many things. And this is all new in my life, fairly new in my life. So I'm still wondering how to deal with it. And I hope I'm doing well. I just hope that every day that I'm rising to the occasion and managing to do what is expected of me. And a little more than that, hopefully. But yeah, it's been a crazy time, almost to the point where sometimes I feel I'm not able to absorb everything happening around me.
Do you want to take a break?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think, and I've scheduled one. I hope it remains like that. We've scheduled one sometime.
And active life is like that feast and famine kind of thing, no? Like, jab aata hai, to it's so much. And then there are times when you have to wait.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
I think now it's been pretty much time for gluttony for everybody.
True.
Because there's been a lot of work happening. So I think not just me, but a lot of other actors have been very busy with a lot of work. Not all of it is good quality work, but at least there's opportunity for so many people, so many new people to enter the game, and it's not just those 5 films being and those 15 actors being in all those 5 films.
Right.
You know, it's not about that anymore.
Yeah.
So that is encouraging, that there is room for everyone.
Yeah.
And there is room for all sorts of genres. There's room for all sorts of stories. And
so many people are watching you. Like
and there's
like
appetite
Netflix,
for it also.
Yeah.
So that is encouraging.
Yeah. So Netflix ticked off, Amazon ticked off, and now Hotstar with Out of Love. Have you? It's based on an English show, the Dr. Foster. Did you see it?
I did. I watched the show before I started working on the show, but then I didn't revisit it at any point because I didn't want to.
Like you happened to see it, or you watched it?
No, I watched it for it. I wanted to basically understand the intent of the show and the framework of the show, and just to get a sense of if I wanted to be a part of it or not. And I don't know if it was a good idea. I'm still talking to myself about that one because I didn't revisit it after that though, because I didn't want to unknowingly imitate another performance or mimic another performance, and especially one which is so powerful. You know, the original is a very powerful performer and very beautifully done performance. So I don't know if it was a good idea to watch it at all. Maybe another way to do it would have been to just not watch it and just read the script and commit to that 100%. But I think curiosity got the better of me. I watched it. But maybe next time I'll try out, if I get an opportunity to work on an adaptation again, I'll try out not to watch it. Yeah.
But is there like a line between imitation and just being inspired? Like, does that happen? Because inspiration is always around us, right? How else will we be inspired by?
Yeah, but I think it's a scary zone to be inspired by something exactly what you're working on. It's okay to be inspired by a book that you read and that finds its way into a performance or a film that you watched 20 years back and suddenly the memory of it comes. Or a song that you had heard when you were a child and you're looking at a scene. And for instance, I was reading a scene the other day and I started humming this song which I knew only as a child from a musical called The King and I, which is a very beautiful song, which is whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head erect. And I was like,
I have
why?
no idea, but I'm just...
Why am I? It's a lovely song, actually.
It
goes, whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head erect and whistle a happy tune so no one will suspect I'm afraid. And suddenly I'm singing that song. I'm like, where did that? So that inspired that scene. But I think inspiration has to not be logical.
Right.
It has to be subconscious, and that's the only way that I think anything works. Otherwise, it becomes imitation. In my opinion, that's the difference.
But the show is like, I mean, it's centered around infidelity, right? And so Bollywood has been doing it, but where films like where they've like delved into it deeply, people have not liked it. Like something like a Kank, like Kabhi Alvida Kehna, people are like, oh, but it was just an uncomfortable situation for people to watch that film. Do you think we've come a long way from there, like where we can explore this now deeply?
I think it was explored very bravely in Silsila, for example. And
did Silsila do well? Like, was it
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know whether it did well when it came out. Actually, we should find out. But I remember when I watched the film, I thought it was very brave in its storytelling for the time that it came out in. So I don't think it's not been there. I think this show, though, why it moved me, I thought was because it was a very intimate and psychological exploration of what two people in a marriage go through after the relationship has seen infidelity. So it was more about that and also about the choices that Dr. Meera Kapoor makes, because and she is in a dilemma. She struggles with those choices. I mean, she decides to do one thing, but something else happens, and she decides to go another way. So it's almost like you are in her head. I hope the audience would feel that they are sort of debating these things or struggling these things out with her, along with her as the series moves along. Highlighted brown hair. I've just been thinking that he's having an affair.
तो एक बाल की वजह से इतना सब कुछ.
Slightly personal, but did you put yourself in that zone ever and think of what you would have done, or there was just no?
I actually don't know what I would do in a situation like this. It's so hard to tell,
right,
and we often. Our impression of ourselves are so different from
how we eventually react.
Yeah, it's funny almost, I mean, I wake up some mornings and think I'm going to have the best and the calmest day possible. It just starts like all wrong. So yeah, you never know how you'll react to a certain situation. So I don't know.
But are you happy that you're out of, like, I mean, I read that you said somewhere that I don't want to play this good, sweet girl anymore, and you broke that with Mirzapur and now with this. Are you happy?
For a while, I felt I was getting very morally upright roles.
Okay.
And that's what I didn't want.
Okay.
And Beena was so refreshing for that reason, because she was anything but that.
तो मुश्किल से महीने में 1-2 बार कर पाते हैं, ऊपर से हर बार गरम करके ठंडा ही छोड़ देते हैं हमको.
And someone has to take a leap of faith and say that, hey, I see you in this.
Yeah, and see you in a different sort of physicality, which is something that I hadn't had an opportunity to explore. Possibly a little bit with Chutney, but not all the way.
Yeah, that was so fun.
As with Beena.
Yeah,
so Chutney was like possibly a warm-up to Beena.
Yeah, but isn't it like amazing that the most amount of visibility for you has come from that film and all your OTT work? Do you want to do more films, like feature films?
Yes. I don't want to not. I don't make the distinction in terms of.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's really
a job
about,
is a job. Yeah.
It's about the stories about a story. About a story. So it's that more than the medium, but. And I've had an equal amount actually. Last year's actually been an interesting mix of film series. Like there was Manto and there was Mirzapur, then there was Hamid and there was Delhi Crime. Now it's Out of Love and going to be Loot Case.
Right.
So it's been half and half in that sense. But I can't say whether I enjoy one over the other. There are some differences in both, but I think I am equally consumed by both.
But do you think that, I mean, we spoke about this earlier, there's so much of you is visible now that do you feel like a tangible difference in the way people view you?
Yes. I mean, I get recognized more.
A lot more.
And I'm very warm, and it's not I feel very touched by that recognition, because it's not hey, can we take a selfie kind of recognition. It's a,
I like this part.
I watched you in Delhi Crime and I also watched you in Manto.
Right.
And you were so different in Mirzapur. It's a very involved sort of interaction.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
It's been very heartwarming for me in that sense. I've really enjoyed that.
You know, I was telling a friend that I was meeting and they're like, oh, tu hai mera Sunday.
See, yeah.
So it's just like,
so almost like
it's found a new audience on Netflix.
Committed sort of, and committed to, like somebody came to me and said, I never do this, but I have to tell you, you were at an airport, and an older woman, and she said that I just never do this, but I just wanted to tell you that what you did in Manto was so beautiful. So that's the lovely, kind of involvement. So I really value that. It's not about how many people recognize you, but it's the
what is the kind of
it's the warmth
feedback
with which they.
How do you take criticism? Like, do you read reviews? I
do read reviews, but I'm interested in knowing what critics have to say about a piece of work, not just about my performance, but also about the film or show that I've worked on. Some people put things very interestingly, and it's almost like I'm trying to look for a vocabulary for it.
So you don't like, I want to kill this critic, because so many actors say that ek baar mil jaye.
I haven't yet
had that. Sorry.
Yeah. So I guess once I start getting the bad ones, then we should revisit this conversation and see how zen I can be about it.
But social media pe to hoga na kuch, no? Like the people are sweet only.
Audiences are very forgiving.
Okay.
Audiences are very sweet and very forgiving.
Because especially actors and female actors deal with a lot of negativity on things like Twitter. So, but maybe it's not work related. It's
I've dealt with some misogynistic comments on Instagram which are offensive after Mirzapur. I think we live in a patriarchal society which often, I would like to believe it's not misogynistic, but I have to say it is. Yeah. It is, So, and you get a lot of comments online, and I really don't know what I feel about them.
It doesn't bother you.
It does, but I'm almost sometimes amused. I'm like, how did this person make a connection between just one photograph and, it's kind of weird.
It is crazy.
So I actually, I think I kind of look at it as a social study rather than
as a reflection of their personality.
Rather than being offended personally, and sometimes it's just sad for that that we live in such a misogynistic society that anything that when you acknowledge yourself as a sexual being through a character, people just,
this is the
kind of response that you get because you're a woman.
But how has your social media game been like? Because I know the last time you met the Quint, you said that you kind of struggle with it.
I still struggle.
You do?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Karna padta hai.
I think some people are not meant to be. I always say, I think I will.
I follow you on Insta.
Am I doing a good job? I'm random, right? Give me marks on 10.
No. But I know you post quite a bit now, so I'm guessing at least the frequency is something that you're used to.
No, I'm not used to it.
No? You're I have to.
Yeah, I really feel like I belong to another era. I was meant to be born in the 40s, 50s, or at least meant to be young in the 40s, 50s. So that's, I feel really, and every time I work when I worked on Manto, and now I'm working on Suitable Boy, Meera Nair's show, which is also set in early 50s.
Yes.
And I really feel at home, yeah. I swear, I really feel like
story कौन डालेगा
ये ठीक था कि एक ही चीज थी और वही करना था. I find multitasking very hard, and that's what you give me one task, I can take the whole day to do it. And I am that school of behavior.
But I also see you putting up things like, your looks, etc. Is there something that you enjoy, like doing this, or do you have to do it? Do you enjoy the paraphernalia that comes?
No.
No?
Simple answer is no.
It's an effort.
Sometimes I have to say, when it happens and I look at a photograph or something, I feel, I'm looking good, nice. It's not like I say, whatever. I won't deny that.
We all like to look good.
It feels good to look good once in a while. But the effort, that goes into it is a bit. Sometimes I just think it's a huge waste of my time, and I'd rather be doing
Other
something
things,
else.
yeah. We are so consumed by social media, we don't realize it.
Yeah, and just the whole idea of having a visual for everything that you do, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, do I
Shoot
have to?
day one
Is
having
it not
coffee.
enough for me to look at a plate of sandesh and
Yeah.
say,
No, I have to tell everyone.
now I have to take a photo of it and I have to share every single moment of my life with everybody.
And everyone wants to know also.
That's sweet. I think
Yeah.
that is sweet. But I think it just comes naturally to some people and it doesn't to others. And to me, it doesn't. Sometimes I do maybe once in 10 times I enjoy it. But mostly
It's an effort.
It's an effort.
This is moving away. Last question. Then you, actually, I read this thing and I was quite surprised that you didn't want to play that part in Hamid because you wanted a Kashmiri actor to play that part. And with so much debate going on who should play what part and skin color, racism, etc., how do you weigh in on that? That's quite brave, I'd say.
I think that as creative people, we can access spaces that is beyond the realm of our experience and physicality. I think that we can. And my reason to say that was because I felt nervous about being able to do it or not. You know, and I didn't want to do injustice to the story of people who've been through too much already. And that was my nervousness. Kashmir has been a place which has been in conflict for so many years. For me to be able to understand that in 2 weeks, and I had only 2 weeks, I thought was something
Impossible.
that I would not be able to do justice to. So I didn't want to not do justice to it. So that was my nervousness. But and also I think as creative people, while we feel we can access spaces which are beyond the realm of our experience, I think it's also good to question yourself, to ask who is an insider and who is an outsider to telling a story. So that was my problem with the whole Kashmir thing. I felt with Hamid, because I felt like we needed somebody who had lived this conflict more.
Generally, how do you weigh in on it like an actor? Do you think an actor, I think race is just political. So I feel like, when you say that a dark-skinned person should play a dark-skinned part, it's because it's just reflective of the sentiment of the nation. So
no, I feel like it depends on the people who are working on it and how they want to tell that story. And I don't think that these should be boundaries.
Okay.
I feel like if the director, the casting directors, the actors, and all the number of people who go into the whoever has a creative call on collaborating on that project, it's their decision. But we shouldn't be bound by
something like this.
by things like this. And as actors, we should be allowed to explore different things also. So that's the basic. But these things take time. It's like saying that there should be no gender inequality. Overnight to nahi hota na.
These are prejudices.
These are prejudices which are very deep rooted, and it's good to examine. It's good to have these debates. It's good that we are able to have this conversation so that people understand what we feel about things. But for these prejudices to turn overnight, I don't think so. We can only check ourselves every day, and that also we are checking ourselves in a very formal way. What I actually feel deep down inside, I don't know. Tomorrow I go get tan, I'm like, oh, I've got tan. You don't know what you feel. So, but at least the consciousness of it and at least the articulation of it is, if it's sensitive and not prejudiced, I think we are going somewhere.
As long as we're having that conversation, it's fine. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking to you. So much fun.
Always pleasure talking to you.
And looking forward to Out of Love and everything else that you do.
Thank you.
And I hope there's many more shows to watch next year.
After my break.
Thank you, Rasika. Thank you. So that's all for today. And if you like this podcast, do check out more on Apple, Google Podcasts, JioSaavn, Spotify, or any other platform we're on right now. And do subscribe to the platform of your choice to keep listening. If you have any feedback, please do reach out to me on @nandkumar_27 on Instagram and Twitter, or you can also drop me a mail on nandkumar.ramohan@thequint.com. Have a great week and see you next time.